In this video, guys, I'm going to share with you something that we tend to not take seriously when it comes to a pretty interesting data on AMC that I believe personally that it's a pretty good metric to actually give some more confidence into the direction the stock is supposed to take. I'm talking about the short squeeze. Yes, but before we get into that, let me first look at what the price action was today based on the market expectation, based on the market movements, because this is really pretty interesting. All right, AMC was down yesterday, and today, right off the bat, it went under the $38 share, around $37.64. But it came back pretty strong. It came back pretty strong and was on the green a couple of times before, pretty remaining flat. And this is kind of the same thing that happened to the entire market today. The Dow Jones and the Nasdaq plus the S&P 500 were down big time. Close to losing 200 points for the Dow Jones today. Same thing for the Nasdaq, and then they recovered. But I believe this was majorly based on a plethora of economic indicators that we got today around, inflation, inflation coming around, how the economy was doing around, the GDP for the quarter, plus some other numbers on the housing market, on the trade balance, the good orders, etc., etc. So investors didn't really have any direction to go, and I think this is reflecting in what the market are doing, at least for this last couple of days, last week, because sometime in the market will open very high and then close almost in the red. Will open in the red deep and then make a sweep U-turn and close flat or even in the green, kind of like we had today. So this is just the current state of the market, and to be honest with you, it doesn't make any sense if it's not just people not really knowing what direction to take. But as always, you need to have conviction it's your stock. Bringing me to AMC, right? Because when you look at this through charts, all right, the institutional ownership, I know whenever people start hearing about institution in AMC, directly they are going straight forward with lending and borrowing. But now keep in mind, when you look at this, the largest quarterly institutional transactions, these are the buys. You barely see any sell, all right? You barely see any sell, and this is for the last quarter or the current quarter, all right? You see barely any sell. We have all the way up to 48 million shares owned by these guys, all right? On top of Vanguard, BlackRock that we already knew, but the thing is, this quarter, they increased that amount. And you can see this here, all right? The top 10 owners of AMC stock, the Vanguard, look, the total change so far, 5%, BlackRock, 17%, SSGA funds, 60%. Look, only Charles Schwab decreased a little bit, 26%, but they didn't sold completely, all right? BlackRock increased 742%. Rentec 38%. We are talking about the smartest top money management investing guys in the planet. And they are here buying AMC, which is supposedly overpriced. It doesn't make any sense, all right? For those making those allegations alongside what AMC should be trading at $7 a share. Now, when you also go into here, you have a $2.36 billion worth of buys in the last 12 months. But if you look at this quarter alone, this is something I already shared with you, just to reiterate what is actually happening here. Almost 800 million shares, dollars worth of shares bought, but only 33 million sold. Only this quarter. People, this gives you the indication that these institutions are averaging up. They are not averaging down. They are averaging up, all right? So you don't average up if you don't believe, all right? Not suspect, believe. That's what I do. If I buy a share at $2, all right, and I have 100 shares in it, it goes to 4, it goes to 6, to 8, and I see potential of it going to 20, why wouldn't I increase my size to have more money when it gets to that target? All right. This is textbook analysis on how to invest or how to trade. All right. So these guys, with all the information and all the knowledge, plus the technology and the inside information they have access to, which you and I don't have, I mean, guys, it's a no-brainer, right? They are averaging up. So if they weren't sure enough, all right, if they didn't have that proof that AMC was going to surpass the 72. I know it doesn't make sense, or I mean, it's kind of, I'm crazy talking to you about AMC reaching 72 or passing 72 because we are stuck in this 40 for the last 4 weeks now, and it doesn't seem like it's gonna get different anytime soon. This is what the hedges want us to be, all right? But keep in mind, this is not a real price. Now, when it comes to the whole lending and borrowing thing, whenever we mention institutions around AMC, keep also in mind that the SEC is about to change the whole game, all right? Lending and borrowing is a practice which allows short sellers to have shares to short, but it's also a practice that allows the lenders to get some money on the process. But that money is not as close to what they make in the appreciation of the capital they invested, right? When the share price goes higher and higher. But if the SEC is looking into changing the reporting, all right, it's going to also impact the practice around lending and borrowing. If these short sellers have to pretty much disclose any type of short selling position that they have on a daily basis every 15 minutes, it's going to make this very hard for them to hide those short positions, even more so to hide the naked short positions or the synthetics like we currently have now into AMC. So that being said, this is just another confirmation, all right, that we are on the right track. I know, again, it doesn't seem like we're going higher, but remember when we were sitting at $5 a share, all right? Remember when we were sitting here at $5 and everybody was thinking we were crazy, and it went all the way up, gaining 1,000%. So just remember, I mean, just imagine 1,000% from here. 1,000% from here, we are hitting those unimaginable highs. So just keep the faith alive, folks. All right?